Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Hello,
guys.
Steve.
Plutarch.
We'll do this.
I'm going to move myself. Oops.
No.
We're all moving it at the same time. There we go.
Good evening, White Claws. Good to see you in the chat.
Okay. I think we're going to have a little bit of a controversial stream tonight. Now, we've never done controversial streams in the past. So, for our audience, just brace yourself.
Hey, Steve. Microphone.
Yeah.
Microphone, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Boomer moment there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So, our theme is equality is the problem. Yeah, there's a couple of words that were missed in the title. Equality is the problem with women. Yep. Okay, so consider what I say here is my conclusion and my theory and kind of an operating analysis. If you don't like it, well, okay, great. Come up with another solution. I'm willing to be wrong. I don't necessarily like the conclusion that I've come to, but I'm still going to try and support it and get people thinking about it. So what we're going to do is an exposition of some overlooked news to see what the correlation and possibility that women's equality is a substantial causation of a demographic crisis. Oh, what is that demographic crisis? Low birth rate, low marriage rate, men complaining they can't find a good woman, women complaining they can't find a good man, high divorce rate, basically instability in our personal lives, and a lack of children, which causes us to have to import immigrants to fill our workforce, but then they're a different culture than us. Yeah, okay. Demographic crisis.
So, Steve, disrupting the natural disorder causes chaos? Who would have thought?
Well, yeah. So how can we analyze this? Well, if you've tuned into some of our past streams, we've talked about the population, the birth rates of different countries. And Plutarch has said, yeah, the US is not that bad off compared to other countries.
I have said such things.
We're below the replacement rate, but it's not, we're not past the point of no recovery. Okay, so let's look at a couple other countries. Let's look to other countries to see what's going on, because it may foretell our future. So I've chosen two countries to look at. One is the UK, and the other is China.
Ooh, my favorite.
And yeah, so we will see some similarities in what's happening over there in either direction, east or west, and similarities to what's happening here. But they're closer to the edge than we are. So
they're living on the edge?
They're past the edge.
Yeah, it's like China's past. They've. Here, I'll throw this up. I'll throw this up
on that one again.
Yeah, you guys have seen this before. I'll throw it up on the edge. According to the CCP, we can now delete these yellow blocks down here, in 1990 and newer. So China fell off a cliff. That just is what it is. There's nothing anybody can do about that, including the Chinese.
But they're trying, and we're going to get into some things they're trying to do.
Oh well, South Korea, if you want to, they're trying hard too. They just launched a whole new program.
Right. So my premise today is that the problem is women's equality. So it's an unwanted conclusion. It's unpopular, but it is being discussed. The red pill, that doesn't spend a huge amount of time identifying the problem is women's equality, but we do talk about patriarchy, which is unequal. Men and women are not equal. They're equal in worth to God. They're equally able to be saved, but their roles are different. They are not equal in roles, responsibility, or authority. Okay, so that's what we're going to delve into. So let's look at some reports from elsewhere. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is short. Plutarch, can you bring up the short? And first of all, answer me. Does China tell us the truth?
When it suits them.
Hey, Chief.
Okay.
Hey, Chief. I want to bring this up because this is actually a question that people need to have in the back of their mind as they're asking this. China could tell their fighting age men that their wives are in America. Yes, they could, but I wouldn't assume that it's America that they're targeting. If you
There's
remember,
a little good place north of there.
yeah, there's a certain place north of China that has an excess of women, and we'll just leave it at that.
You know what? Tell them whatever you want, and they're going to say, "Thanks, I'm good."
pretty much.
No,
at least
I got
for American.
I got a place to sleep. I'm making enough money. You fucked me over. Oh, damn, we are 8 minutes in.
We have no hope
10
of
seconds,
ever
Steve,
being
10
monetized. We have no hope of ever being.
No, we really
No.
don't.
So you know what? They're so discouraged that they've kind of given up, and they're not happy with the government. They're not raring to go to war on behalf of the CCP. They've kind of checked out because they don't see an upside for them. I don't think you can motivate them. I think that's similarly true for many people in the U.S. because they're not motivated to sign up for the military anymore.
No.
Yep. All right.
So, okay, there is strength in numbers, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. If China had 1.4 billion people, as they claim, wouldn't they appear to have more strength? Their population was smaller, and if we actually knew all their problems, yeah, maybe they wouldn't be okay. Well, 1.4 divided by what? 1.4 billion divided by 350 million. That's about four times the size of the U.S.
4 1/4.
What if they were only 2 times the population size of the U.S.? Would that change anything? Okay, that's I want you to think about that. It sounds absurd, but let's listen to that first short clip. Can you bring it up, Plutarch?
Okay, and tell me if you're not getting the audio. It should be set up, but
It's not playing yet.
China doesn't actually have 1.4 billion people, and we can prove it with simple math. In 1990, India had 900 million people, while China had 1.1 billion, 110 million more. Over the past 30 years, India's fertility rate has averaged above 3, while China's has been below 1.1. After 30 years, high fertility rate made India a young country with an average age of 17, while China's one-child policy aged its population to an average age of 38. Yet in 2020, China's population is still reported as 30 million more than India's, which just doesn't add up. Plus, China is hiding population losses from COVID, which has been significant. It has even led to the closure of 20,000 kindergartens in the past 2 years. Watch my full program to get more details.
Okay. Her name is Lei, and she lives in the U.S. She's not a fan of the Chinese Communist Party. I don't think she'd be welcome back in China, but she's done some pretty interesting analysis. So her claim is, China's population might only be around 800 million because there is actually reports of people throughout the country saying, where are all the people? They're leaving. There are empty villages in the rural areas. There is a lack of crowds in the larger area, the mid-sized cities. And even the largest cities are not as crowded as they once were. Kindergartens have closed. Pharmacies are having a huge problem. And there's a lot of them closing. Now, if you have an aging population, why are your pharmacies closing? How many people did China die in with the COVID stuff? Because it hit them harder than us. So, okay, could it be only have 800 million? Now, that's not the topic of this program, but it just shows that, there is pressure on the Chinese to basically minimize the problem to the rest of the world, but address it internally and encourage this.
So, Steve, are you talking about Sun Tzu? Sun Tzu, where you are weak appear strong, where you are strong appear weak. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
I wasn't. You mean I recognize that? Yeah, it's true. It reveals that. Just a truism.
So we have a couple comments. One of them from Tacticus. Did we see the new Hungary law from Hungary? 2 new kids, no income tax for life. Yes, we did. I think we talked about this pre-stream a couple streams ago. Do you know why they're doing it? Do you know why they did it? That law was passed the week after their fertility rate for 2024 came out. It fell again.
Oh, it still didn't help.
Right.
So they still think this is going to.
Okay.
This is germane to the future conversation here.
What is the truth of that? How much of that is true? How much is there anything missing from that statement? Now, because I don't know, but here's what I heard someone say. Yes, when a woman has that many children, she does not have to pay income tax for the rest of her life. That's correct.
The man still does.
It's an encouragement to the woman, not to the man. So, it's really not support for families.
No.
If she has 2 kids as a single mother, does she get the benefit? Yep. Okay. Could be more to the story here.
Steve,
I'm just saying, guys are going to be wrapping up even more now.
Oh, well, no, Nick, you're right. So let's we're talking fertility rates and equality. Okay, who does this tax benefit the most? Believe it or not, single or married stay-at-home moms don't get any benefit. They aren't making any taxable income anyway. This only benefits single mommies. What this law will do is break up more families.
No shit.
Yes, it will.
Because men are disposable.
Yes.
it gives a woman more options. So now she's not going to, most cases, they're not going to have fabulous jobs. They're going to have average to below average income jobs. But now he gets to keep all her money. Oh, it sounds great. But truth is, she probably didn't pay much taxes at that income rate before. So it's a benefit that almost no one can benefit from.
But this is where I get frustrated with people on the right, because, and the tradcons in particular, because they love to point at this program and they love to say, see, guys, don't you see? Viktor Orban is this great guy who's leading his nation to the future, and he's the one we should emulate. But if you sit there and you think for a half a second about what this thing will actually do, no, Viktor Orban is pushing straight up old school St. Petersburg feminism. He's
part of
reading,
the simp army.
Yeah.
He's part of the simp army. Yep.
He's reading.
Okay,
This is Leon
Trotsky's
move us
playbook,
along, by the way. Okay,
I'm
going to move us along.
I have to rant because I don't like the tradcons this week.
We'll have plenty of time for ranting at the end.
Oh darn.
Okay. The next video. The hidden crisis affecting Britain's future generations.
Hey guys, Matt Goodwin here. Great to have you with us again. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I want to talk to you today about something that nobody in Westminster is talking about. No one in the Labour Party is talking about it. No one in the Conservative Party is talking about it. And it is our country's fertility crisis. Listen to me, this is going to be one of the biggest issues for the next 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 years, but nobody in the Uniparty is talking about it. Now, I've just written a Substack on it, which has gone really well, and basically the situation is this. There are two stats you need to know about our population that you probably don't know. The first is, if you look at the UK, there are now more deaths than births among the native population, meaning that we're having more funerals than birthday baby celebrations for the first time in 50 years. Our population is not growing anymore, it's shrinking. The only reason, once you look beyond the native population, the only reason it's growing is because of mass immigration. But our population as an entity of people is actually shrinking over time. The second thing to know is our fertility rate. Now remember, a replacement rate is 2.1, so you need a fertility rate of at least 2.1 in order to replenish your population over time. Our fertility rate in 2024 has just fallen to 1.44 and is forecast to fall to 1.3 by the end of this century. We are, in other words, seeing the lowest fertility rate on record since records began in 1938. Now, what does all of this mean? It means basically that the majority community that we have in our country could be close to halving every generation, which will obviously radically transform our country, it will transform our economy, it will transform our culture, it will transform our values. And this is not just a problem for the UK, this is a problem for lots of Western countries. It's a problem for everybody from Germany to Sweden. But in Britain, what we've got is at the same time a hapless political class, a uniparty on the left and the right, that firstly is refusing to talk about this issue, but secondly is lulling people into a false sense of security by saying, well, actually, we should deal with this crisis by relying on, you guessed it, mass immigration. That's one of the reasons why over the last 20 years, politicians on both the left and the right have put the pedal down on mass immigration. But this is not the solution to the fertility crisis. And one person who's pointed this out...
I think we've heard enough of him.
So
we don't want to... Hey, he's touching on that. Nick, you have something to say. You were laughing at something.
There's
I think
two ways
when he
to
said the word
destroy a country.
immigration.
Two ways to destroy a country. You don't have birth rates and you replace the population with something else.
Didn't the Romans
it's a different
do that?
country. What?
Didn't the Romans do that?
Oh, how well did that work?
Well, there is no Roman Empire anymore. I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
Right. Terrible idea.
The MAGA group, the Trump supporters, what, 2 weeks, a month ago, everybody was cheering. He's actually doing something about the immigration problem. We're going to deport those people and it'll solve all our problems. Well, will it solve our problems?
No.
No.
This isn't-
Okay. Now, I'm not against addressing the immigration problem because it is a problem. We
is,
have
yep.
too many coming over here. They're low skilled labor. They are, they're being supported somehow by the government. They're a big burden. So yes, we need to address that. But all is not well, even if you could address it.
So, Steve, it's like a doctor, right? A person he's only trained in dealing with one terminal illness, right?
Right.
There's more than one terminal illnesses out there.
And so he sees everything as his own terminal illness that he knows how to
it's like
fix.
it's like you got a hammer and a screw, but if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Right.
But okay, let's talk about total fertility rate, TFRs, for a minute. Okay, I just said that the Hungarian TFR was 1.4. This guy said, oh, they're projected a TFR of 1.3 by the end of the century.
That's laughably high.
Yeah, I was going to say that's optimistic. Well, and there's this idea that you can pull in migrants from high fertility rate countries and they will bring their fertility rate with them. And that's true.
For one to maybe 1.5 generations, right?
Correct. You get it for about 20 to 30 years. Okay. And then two things start happening. First, the original generation, okay, they had their kids are grown up. Their kids are now actually assimilating into the culture and want nothing to do with the things that create high fertility. But second, you say, oh, well, we'll just bring in more. Well, what ends up happening is either the second generation and the second generation immigrant children and the first generation new immigrants you're bringing in either get into massive fights because they do have a shared heritage, but they fundamentally disagree, which is why on immigration, some of the loudest anti-immigration demographics in the United States are the second and third generation immigrants. For example, the Latino cohort, their biggest concern in the last US election was immigration. Okay. So, you get 20 or 30 years of this and then it's over. You can't just open the taps up wider and get more. And we're at the end of that 30-year mark in Britain and here too.
Yeah. Britain's worse off than we are. Well, okay, let's move on to the next one.